Welcome to Kaumudy Global. In an unexpected twist, Sri Lanka said on Monday it had asked China to postpone the planned visit of a Chinese ship to the island country after initially approving its arrival this week. Sri Lanka has reportedly done this, yielding to diplomatic pressure from neighbour India to keep the military vessel out. The Yuan Wang 5 was due to arrive on Thursday, August 11th, at the Chinese-built and leased Hambantota port in Sri Lanka's south for 5 days for replenishment. It is currently sailing in the East Indian Ocean, according to reports. Foreign security analysts describe the Yuan Wang 5 as one of China's latest generation space tracking ships used to monitor satellite, rocket, and intercontinental ballistic missile launches. The Pentagon says Yuan Wang ships are operated by the Strategic Support Force of the People's Liberation Army. New Delhi fears its bigger and more powerful rival China will use Hambantota as a military base in India's backyard. The $1.5 billion port is near the main shipping route from Asia to Europe. Sri Lanka's Foreign Ministry said that on July 12th it had approved the ship's arrival for this month. Subsequently, in light of the need for further consultations, the ministry has communicated to the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in Colombo to defer the visit of the said vessel to the Hambantota port, the ministry said in a statement. India said late last month it was monitoring the planned visit of the ship, adding that New Delhi would protect its security and economic interests. India also lodged a verbal protest with the Sri Lankan government. Asked about the controversy over the ship, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin told a regular news briefing that China's relations with Sri Lanka were not targeted at third parties. We urge the relevant parties to see China's marine scientific research activities in a rational light and stop disrupting normal exchange and cooperation between China and Sri Lanka, Wang, who didn't mention the name of India, stated. Sri Lanka is a sovereign country. It has the right to develop relations with other countries based on its development interests. To have normal cooperation is the independent choice made by our two countries. It serves the shared interest of both sides and does not target any third party, he added. Relations between India and China have been strained since armed clashes on the Himalayan border 2 years ago killed at least 20 Indian and 4 Chinese soldiers. Both China and India have tried to expand their influence in Sri Lanka, which is facing its worst economic crisis in its independent history, though India has provided more help to it this year than any other nation. Soon after Sri Lanka announced that the Chinese ship has been asked not to enter its port, Chinese diplomats had rushed to meet President Ranil Wickremesinghe. According to a bilateral agreement signed in 1987 between India and Sri Lanka, no Sri Lankan port can be allowed to be used for military purposes by any country in a manner prejudicial to India's interests. In response to India's concern, Sri Lanka had earlier stated that the visit of the Chinese ship was only for refueling and replenishing of other facilities and provisions. The ship or members of its crew will not involve in any internal affairs or business in Sri Lanka. China and India have always helped Sri Lanka domestically and in the international fora as true friends, cabinet spokesman and media minister Bandula Gunawardene had stated. Sri Lanka would not do anything to harm the good understanding and trust existing between the two countries for millennia. Under no circumstances would Sri Lanka act detrimental to the interests of India or China, as both nations have been Sri Lanka's friends in need and have stood alongside Sri Lanka at all times, he had said.